everybody. I'm glad to be with you today and my guest. I don't even know if I can call him a guest. This is his second time here, but he's a guest. So I'm going to leave it at that. He already let me know this ain't no all the time thing going on here. So, so I want to welcome everybody here to LKM Kingdom Living, Leslie's Lessons Learned. And here I'm with Dr. Chuck Morris. I did it.
Did
Uh,
it.
and he has a great offer for us. When last time he was here, he told us he was going to put an offer together for us, and we're here to share the offer with you. And he's going to give us a few tips before he does that. So, as I said again, welcome as you're coming in. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Morris.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here again. And don't say it like that.
He's
No,
like, I ain't playing with you, Auntie.
listen, y'all, that's not the way I said it. What I was attempting to get across
Hmm.
was because I said I was going to do something for you, her audience, that I was going to make sure I do that.
Hmm.
And I just wasn't going to add other stuff for other people. That's really,
Uh,
she said it different.
yeah, because he said, don't play with me. That's what he said. Don't play with me.
Well, it's good to be back with you guys. Like Leslie said, so I'm just going to give a couple of quick tips. I'll take a couple of questions. And then the objective really today is to lay out so I keep my word, the offer that we said we will put for this community. So we want to do that for you. And I think it's just fair so we don't leave Leslie to try to explain the program. And you guys are going to have 100 questions. At some point, you're going to say, I don't know, stop asking me. So we're going to do it here in this format. And again, this is not a public thing. This is something that we're making available for you guys. It's a model we generally use for our corporate entities. So we're going to let individuals do it. And we're treating Leslie's Lessons Learned as a corporate entity. So you are
Why,
now
thank you. Why, thank you.
a part of her corporate expression.
I guess I can call that favor.
Yes, ma'am.
Favor.
Yes, you can.
Oh,
Well, I want to lay up a little bit of framework because I've had some fun conversations over the last, I don't know, just week with some people and attempted to reframe how they're looking at their health and their wellness. So I'll share that with you as a group, and then we'll kind of take it from there.
okay.
And one of the things I want to really get rid of is the thought of, again, we're not where we are in our health and our wellness just because of lack of discipline, or we just, we're not committed. When it's really a very complex reality that is not that simple. It just isn't. Most people don't think about the fact that organizations have food scientists. They're food scientists. These people go to school, they use chemistry with food to help you crave things, for things that have a certain response to your taste. But I mean, like, this is a real life effort that generates revenue for people. And to think that how you respond to what you eat or you drink is random, or even worse, your fault, is just naive at best, dangerous at worst. So I just want to kind of tap on a window about that, just again to bring down this thought of it's just you and you just have to be better. You have to do better. It just isn't that simple. And I'll give you a little bit about the thought of, even when I'm consuming food, why I eat what I eat, how I eat it. And as always, I give my disclaimer: I'm a scientist, not a physician. Everything I say is my observations based on 28 years of being in space. I'm not giving anybody any medical advice and all that good stuff. These are my opinions and my thoughts and my observations. Period.
Period.
Right?
Yes.
So think about, I try to create a really cool way for us to remember some things. So here we go. My body's most basic response, or the most important things in my body, is to keep me alive. That is the most, every system in my body, that's the primary objective.
Right.
Second, after that, is homeostasis, or to keep me balanced. That's the second thing. Now, if we just put a pin in those two things and sit them there for a moment. Thirdly, is my body is attempting to figure out how to get what I need to balance itself out and to stay alive. So, how does my system trigger me to get what we need? When we are hungry and you want something to eat. Now, if you tell the truth, if you've anytime you've been extremely hungry, you missed a couple of meals, you didn't cross over into hangry, you angry and hungry at the same time.
Yes.
I'm willing to bet you weren't craving chicken breast, tuna. Like you don't we don't crave that's not what you want. And based on your face, you probably think what most people think. I know I probably should, but I don't. Okay. I present for your consideration a potential reason why that happens. Now I'm gonna give it to us in a fun way that we can remember. I'm hungry. My body's trying to keep me alive, stay balanced, and give me what I need to be balanced and stay alive. And I'm hungry, so I need something. I don't. My mind and my brain work together, and I have a Rolodex of the last thing that I put into my mouth that my body broke down to the first thing that I ever put in my mouth that my body broke down. Not in my conscious will, but in my brain and in my system. And then my brain goes through that Rolodex, and then it pulls up what turned into what I need the fastest. Then I upload that as a desire.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Sometimes I look, if it's not fast, I won't even eat.
Because you're not going to crave chicken breast and tuna because it takes your body too long to break it down to balance out your blood sugars or to give you energy. So you don't crave that. You crave whatever you're going to crave a candy bar. You're going to crave sugar or salt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's not a matter of not having goodwill or discipline. That is a result of science.
And that's the crazy part. And I was going in the grocery store the other day, and the lady was sitting out eating some popcorn. So of course, I went in the store hungry. I had to pick up some popcorn. I had to pick up some ice cream. Now this stuff I don't usually never bother, but I'm hungry and I look at the lady. I pick up one kind of popcorn, then I go over another side and get another. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm hungry, and she just bust out laughing because I'm picking up all this stuff that I don't normally pick up. Because I see this lady with a bag of popcorn. It looks good. And I'm going in and I'm going to get me a bag of popcorn or two because I ended up with two because I had to get the caramel and the cheddar and, you know.
You had to get the salt, had to get it sweet.
Yeah.
And you instantly became more aware of popcorn. Like you instantly popcorn instantly became no bad experience you ever had with popcorn came up.
No.
Time the kernel hurt your teeth. None of that. Right.
And come to think of it, that's funny you said that because I gave the bag to Ashley. I said, you got too many kernels in it. I gave the bag to Ashley.
Yep. Because when it was go time, your brain hyper focus your attention on that.
Yeah.
And use your memory and your imagination to romanticize the last time you had it. To cultivate the triggering for you to get it. It's not just discipline, right?
Yes, ice cream and popcorn. Yes, it was.
I don't know why anybody would eat popcorn or ice cream, y'all. I have no idea.
Well, I didn't eat them at the same time, but I got them at the same time.
No. But I do understand why somebody would eat ice cream and pretzels.
Oh yeah,
that makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's a given. That's a given.
Yeah. So when we think about it, okay, so if we become slightly more aware that everything isn't a personal indictment against me as an individual, it becomes a little more freeing, and we can have the opportunity to become less negative to ourselves. Right. So people say things like, well, that's what I was thinking, or I hate when I have those type of thoughts. When I have these type of thoughts about eating, or when I have these type of thoughts about whatever the case may be, I present for consideration that your brain, our brain, to process information faster than we can even understand, totally.
Right.
And then I have all these data inputs, my skin, all these sensory things, right? I have all these sensory things putting information in, and it captures the information and it keeps it. So when I smell popcorn, when I see the lady eating popcorn, and I hear the crunch, right?
She was tearing that bag up.
She was all in, man. She all in.
Yeah.
She was committed. She was committed to the popcorn. She had already committed. She had already finished the whole process. She was there already. And then my brain takes all of that information and presents an outcome. You should have popcorn. Popcorn's going to be good for you. Now we could think, oh, this is my thought, and I shouldn't be thinking about popcorn. I just need to go get some celery up from the outside of the shop, right, whatever.
Right.
And because I didn't think like that, and I'm thinking about popcorn, I'm a bad person, or this is why I'm not reaching my goal. That's a very negative way to think about it. What if instead, when your brain says, hey, get popcorn, you think about the fact that this isn't your personal thought. This isn't Chuck's thought. This is merely my brain processing the information and presenting a thought based on data. And then I get to decide how I transform that data. So having the thought isn't a bad thing. Having the desire to have popcorn isn't bad. It's a result of your brain bringing all this information and presenting it to you. And then you're saying, hey, that thought came up. What do I want to do with that thought? I can decide to get popcorn or not. But it's not your personal thought. And if I think it's my personal thought, then I can think it's a personal failure. It's not, it's just information. So just pause. Okay, do I want the popcorn? Why is it dangerous to go grocery shopping when I'm hungry?
Right. Already know better.
Already know better, but I waited too long because of my schedule. Right?
Yeah.
So thinking about the fact it's not a personal failure is one of the biggest steps to adjusting how we see ourselves with our health and our nutrition and our wellness. Everything is not a personal failure. A lot of it is just understanding what's going on, understand what's happening, and then just processing it differently. So when we're thinking about exercise, when we're thinking about food, just process it differently. It's not you. It isn't because you're doing something wrong and you're not disciplined. You see the popcorn because you're hungry.
Right.
And it's appealing because it tastes good. So don't put energy there. Put energy on, what do I do with this thought? That's where we got to put the energy. Because we mess around and focus on why do I think it? Why do I keep doing it? Why was it?
Don't get it.
Because stuff happens, that's why. Mm-hmm. Because water is wet, that's why. Don't put energy on the why. Put energy on what do I do with it? And if we put our energy there, then we can be more successful on a more consistent basis. So my energy becomes, I'm not worried about why I want popcorn. My energy becomes, what am I going to do about the fact that I'm in here, I'm hungry, I'm trying to stay focused, and I'm hungry. So I want popcorn. What do I do about it? What's the best decision that I can make? And shifting the energy to that, and that 15 seconds changes the entire experience for you.
I think one of the things is that when we hunger those things and we get them and it don't taste good, you get disappointed. It's like, I gotta have this, and then that's how that popcorn was.
Yep. And then you get that cycle, right? Yeah. Oh, I should never had it anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's almost like they talk about the will, a free will. What you're gonna do with it? You're going to continue to abuse yourself, or you're going to make changes.
There you go.
I might be saying it wrong, but
Yeah, it's all
the
right.
choice is ours.
It is.
When it falls down to it, the choice is ours. Yeah.
And if we just decide to make one choice instead of trying to change our entire life, our entire lifestyle, just make one choice. So one choice, as an example, could be, and all snack bars aren't great. So what? It's a lesser evil, right? So maybe the choice is, I know I'm going grocery shopping. I know my schedule is off, and I'm hungry. I'm going to go ahead and eat this bar. I mean, half of this bar while I'm in a parking lot before I start walking into the grocery store. That's a different choice, which will give you a different outcome. You
So
didn't
don't
say
eat
I'm
the
going to be
whole thing,
organic.
eat half of it. Is that what you said?
Well, start eating half of it so it can start working with you. And then finish eating it while you walk. Because if you just wait till you go in there, you might start eating and look around like, this is nasty. I could get that instead.
Yeah.
Right? So pause in the parking lot, eat about half the bar, and then go into the supermarket. And now I have a different option because the information that's in my brain will be different. And I know it could sound like it's really big, but it's really, really, really small. And it doesn't require you to do some crazy change. Like, I'm going to go in the grocery store. I'm only going to walk around the outside of the grocery store. I'm never going to go into the inside aisles where all the junk food is. Come
They
on,
put
you
it on the end for you too.
they not stupid. Like they need you to buy this stuff. They read the
Right,
same magazines you read.
right. Yeah.
They move
Mhm.
the junk on the outside.
Yes. As you walking by, you just grab it and keep on going. Hands full, stuff
Right?
dropping out your hand, but you got to pick that up along the way. Oh yeah, they set us up. They
Yeah.
set us up.
And that's why the way that we design, that's why our corporate program becomes so successful for people because of how we break it down. Right? We don't attempt to. I've been doing this almost 30 years full time, and we've had
Ooh,
massive
oh,
success. Mommy, yeah, you see me. You see me. Little wrinkle right here. It's been a long time. And what I know, when we try to make too drastic a change too quickly, it does not work. There's all kinds of cool science word reasons why. The point is, it doesn't work. So when we do the corporate wellness model, we start off with little teeny blocks of things. We start off with, we do it in rotations of 14 and 16 week cycles. So each chunk of time is for 14 or 16 weeks and it rotates. We do eating plan, we do workout plan, we do personal development, we do stress management, we do personal coaching with small groups. We do all of that together to affect the entire human experience in the journey of health and wellness. I'll give an example with the nutrition plan. So the nutrition plan is this amazing computer algorithm that has hundreds of thousands of diet plans in it or eating plans and all this other kind of stuff. It's real in depth. It teaches you all the nutrients that you need and how to get them and all this cool stuff. And you can scan your food and log your food and do all kinds of super awesome stuff. That you can't start there though. While
mhm.
that's part of the program, where we start you with is take a picture of breakfast, take a picture of lunch, take a picture of your snack.
We want to see what you're doing.
We got to start at start. Yeah, we'll get into this amazing, expensive algorithm, but first things first, let's just take accountability for what we're doing. Let's just see what we're doing. And then from there, we start writing down. And not write, no, don't go to no journal. It's in the app. All you're going to write down is what you ate for breakfast, what your snack was. Like we baby stepping this out.
Can I interject there for a
Go
minute?
ahead, mama.
Because I remember when I was pregnant with Ashley, and I used to eat up a whole lot of stuff, and the doctor cussed me out and told me what I could eat. So I worked in the hospital, so I would be in the cafeteria when he would walk through. So all the stuff he told me to eat, it was on my plate when he walked through after I done ate everything else before he got there. So for all of you that want to fake the funk, don't do that.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'd have the boiled egg, the grapefruit, and maybe cereal, something like that. I had already eaten waffles or
Mhm.
pancakes and everything else I wanted. So by the time he came through, he said, "That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about." I'm like, "Yes,
You
I
like,
know."
yup. I said the same thing.
So when you just talking about taking pictures, I thought about that. Don't fake the funk. Let's
Don't do
be for
that.
real about it.
And to your point with the workouts, right? They're very short.
Oh, okay.
They're 10-minute workouts that start extremely basic and they slowly progress, right? Very slowly progress. And what you do is you have to take a selfie before the workout, and then you got to put a selfie in there after the workout. It's all inside the app.
So what you supposed to look like afterwards?
See, don't worry about that. See, you don't know what I'm looking for. And I tell them, y'all can squirt water on your face, but y'all don't know what we're looking for. That's not. And we do get some people that fake it. What happens eventually, you do it more often than you fake it. You eventually start doing it more often than you fake it. So it's those type of things that we start at start, and you could do anything for a little while,
Right.
for for a little while,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have the human factor where we get together virtually with these little cohort groups to talk about the real of my challenges. What was hard about this week? What was easy? This workout sucks. This eating plan was stupid. My kids, I want to smother my kids standing up. Like what? All of that life stuff. My wife, she told me to stop saying that because
Summer,
I
you
tell her,
heard him, right? You heard
right,
him if you're on here.
don't focus on that. Don't focus on that. I don't usually say my kids. I say anybody because when somebody make it, this is what I tell Summer. I said, can you imagine how angry somebody has to make you for you to try to smother them standing up? That's really angry. Like to hold the pillow and they. I got issues, y'all. That's why they
Yeah,
don't
I'm
let me on the
coming
internet.
after you, not them. I'm coming after
Right.
you.
But that's why we want to talk about, we want to humanize the experience. We want you to know that you're not the only one that's going through it. We want to talk about our wins together and we want to talk about our losses together because you're going to win and lose. It's going to be this. It is going to be this. It's just you're not by yourself while it's this, right? You're with people. You're with people. And that's the goal. So we start at start and it continues to grow and it gets more and more complicated. It goes from somebody that needs to lose 100 pounds and can't stand up for 10 seconds all
Mm,
the way to pro athletes that need to get 1% better. Like we do the whole gambit. But that's what makes the program so successful because we take the activity, we take the nutrition, and then we take the behavioral health component and we work them all together in a human experience stew that is how this is kind of how we function. And I say this a lot. I've said it a few times already. You have to start at start. I don't know what has happened that has made every wellness professional. There used to be a spectrum that you saw. Now every wellness professional, every fitness person, every trainer that you see advertisement is baby oiled up, half dressed, eight
yeah.
pack, jumping up in the air with a dumbbell, catching it. I'm like, what is happening? What is when did we all become Atlas Olympians? And because of that, I can help you be better too. I don't think so. I think it's more to it than you being in shape to help me.
Right, right. I'm
I
gonna
think it's
pass on this one. So let me ask you something. I heard you say behavioral. Is that what's the question I want? How I want to how
Mhm.
we eat behavior or our
Mm.
lifestyle? What is it?
Yeah, great question. So the behavior is beginning to unearth the why of what we do. And the why of what we do, it part of it is food, part of it is activity, a huge part of it is what we think about what we think. So we really want to slow walk through, because this is what leads everything. My mind and my brain dictates my expression of life and how I move into everything that I do. With that being said, if all of our attempts are physical only, then we'll never get to the mindset change. We want to understand what everyone has a philosophy of life, whether they realize it or not. So when we talk about behavioral, we want to help you first identify what is your life philosophy, because you have one. You may not realize it, but you do. And that philosophy dictates how you interact with the rest of the world and how you see yourself. And as we deal with that, that helps us more effectively deal with the actual actions of what we do. So why do we do what we do?
Right.
And the more we own that.
Yeah, that's good. Because, excuse me, most people don't realize that it's something deeper than just the eating that's taking place and going on. You know,
Very much so.
yeah. So
Very much so.
that's good.
We eat things at certain periods of the day, certain seasons of the year, certain thoughts that are happening, and we do things likewise. And now I could, because substitution behavior is substitution. So now I can engulf myself in the screen, looking for something, scrolling for something um, that I'll never find. But I'm attempting to feel something that's inside of me through this other means, and these other means of attempting to have connection virtually and have these experiences. All of that is about your philosophy of how you see things, and all of that affects your activity and your food and your mental health. It's all connected. We're not compartmentalized the way some people have expressed. You can't just compartmentalize human beings. The human experience is a continuum. You don't get to separate it and put it in nice, neat boxes.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you so much. Can you just food targets, food addiction? Yeah. Um, I was going to ask you to address one other thing because I know you said you have a busy day, but oh, can't remember what it was now. But something you said I was going to ask you to address. Oh. And I think you might have addressed this last time.
Hmm.
Just something that's, say somebody has some leg problems or something of that effect. What is some of the what is something that they can do? Because a lot of times people, because they have pain, won't push past their pain to get rid of the pain. Now I know that's not always the case. And a lot of times there is something else going on. But can you push past or make the lubricate lubricate the joints so that you can get around better? Is that a part of your program, or do you have a tip for that?
Yeah, for sure. And again, we're going to separate the reality of any major medical issues that somebody could have, right? We're talking about basic deconditioned, out of shape. So my joints may be inflamed and things of that nature. When you're dealing with, historically, when you're dealing with those type of things, there's a couple of realities that generally benefit it. And it seems like it's a catch-22, right? Because my muscles and my ligaments aren't conditioned enough, then they can't hold the load in the movement of my body. So my joints that are just access points that are made to just do this are now doing more than they were designed.
Right.
And now they're holding the load of me that my muscles and ligaments should be girding up a bit, which causes discomfort and pain. when I'm attempting to, when I'm in that place and any movement or major movement makes me uncomfortable, it's like, well, what can I do? I can't do anything because when I move my legs or I do a squat, as an example, it hurts. There are significant number of things that we can do that works around that space. So as an example, you can do leg exercises that never require your feet to leave the ground, so you don't have any major impact. If you have so much discomfort that you have to stay seated, there's things that we can do with that as well. Where you flex your muscles in your legs and your body, and you hold it for periods of time. You have slow bending and movements while you're still seated, triggering the muscles, triggering the nervous system to fire off. Every little bit, when done well, helps. And again, part of our reality is we start at start. So for somebody, they may be able to do just a jump squat, jump up in the air and do a squat. Somebody else may be able to do, they can't leave the ground and squat. Somebody else, we can put their hands on the table and just bend halfway down and come back up. Somebody else might have to just stay in the chair. So yeah, we can process through all of that. And the videos based on have beginner, intermediate, and advanced versions to help people with stuff.
Okay. Okay. So you came on really today to offer a wonderful package to our listeners. And I don't want you to leave without doing that.
Right. That was the whole purpose, right?
No, this has been good. I appreciate all the tips. Now, there's one lady on, her name is Alfreda, and she tries to use what you say. When I say, why you eat that? Why you do that? She'll come back at me. Well, didn't your nephew say, take it one step at a time or do this? So I just want you to know she's on listening. So she's taking notes to come back at me when I come at her.
Don't weaponize me.
She weaponizes you.
Well, hopefully it's in a healthy accountability way. If not, then we just
We're
gotta
working on that part. We're working on that
You're
part.
working on it. I like it. I like it. Well, what I did was the offer we did for your listeners specifically is our larger volume corporate model, right? So just like any other business, the larger the program, the more the discounts are, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I personally don't really believe in discounts because you can't go get a gallon of milk and say, we want to negotiate this milk price. But that's
Right.
just me.
Right.
So instead of doing that, I always put stuff at great prices, and it is what it is. What we did to keep me righteous is I just looked at your group and how you guys were doing it. What we did was our 14 week, I think, So our 14-week program, it's a 14-week program. It cycles for 14 weeks. It's completely virtual, so we don't show up anywhere. They get all of the nutrition programming by the dietitians and nutritionists. So they're customized eating programs with a very deep dive nutrition model that also has that progression built inside of it. So it's a full customized eating program. Then they also get the exercise fitness programs as well, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And it'll walk them through that and have some alterations. They get the personal development components that will have some talking points about stress management and personal development tracks inside of that. These are videos all inside of the app. And then they also get access to a scheduled group virtual session that's a non-personal coaching session for the entire group, or depending on the size of the group, it may have to get cut up. But it's generally done in groups of 12 to 15 people at a time.
Okay.
Right. And then all of the programs, the nutrition, the exercise, everything is daily. So there's a daily program. They wake up in the morning, they look at their dashboard. It gives them their sleep hygiene, their meditation, their workout, their statement for the day, and their tracking. And then they also may find out that some people might be messaging them inside to say, you said you did something, but you didn't. Yeah, so we got people actually watching the stuff. So when they put the stuff in there, we do track it, and
Wow.
you'll get a little note. So we do have human beings giving accountability to it. So that whole program is $189. So it's $189 per person for the entire 14 weeks and all of that stuff. So that would be the equivalent of you having a company of staff of over 5,000 staff members.
Wow. Okay.
So
And
I
I
told you that I would do that the last time I was here.
thank
So,
you, nephew. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You always look out for me. I appreciate that.
well, you're doing you're doing a wonderful thing. I want to be supportive. I love what you do. I get the opportunity to watch your recordings, and you're making an impact. And you're making an impact. And some things we can't buy. Some things are just relationships. So that's
I
how it works.
appreciate it. I'm glad. I'm glad I was nice when you was little. When you was, past them 30 years ago. We ain't gonna put how many more years on that, but maybe I must have did something. Lord, I must have did something right.
No, don't let her do this. This is the woman that you get to see that helps you and blesses you. She's always been that way. She's a little nicer to y'all though. I ain't gonna tell you that. She's a little nicer to y'all than she was to us, but I'm not gonna judge.
The ones that's on here, the ones that's behind the scene probably won't think that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. But yeah, so what do they do? What's the next step to get
Yes, so
involved?
it puts a little bit of labor on you, but it's the only way that I can make sure that we stay righteous in what we said we would do. You would just need to send me the emails and names of the people,
That
and
your
then we'll
information is I put your information in the comments so they can see your information.
yeah, y'all
Or
can go to the
I need to
website. Yeah.
I need to they need to send it to me.
Yes, they need to
Okay.
send it to you. So,
Okay.
but they can go to our website, madeinthelab.us, MADIN. So
Mm,
madeinthelab.us to learn about us. In
okay.
order for them to have access to this program, the only way I can control it to make
Hmm.
sure it is what we said because it's on the internet,
Right.
you would just send me name
Okay.
and email. You won't have to do anything else. If you just give me a
Okay.
list, name and email, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay. Okay.
To
Well,
make it fair, because we'll get a bunch of people. Wait a minute, what did you put my personal email on there? What did you put up there?
no, your information you sent me for to give them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You-
No, I just put up there what you told me to put out.
okay.
No, I didn't give them your personal stuff. Just what you sent me and told me this is what to use last time. So that's what I
Gotcha,
put in there.
gotcha.
So, okay, you guys hear that? Get in touch with me, and I'll send him your name your name and your
Email address. Talk to
email
me
address,
email
and
address.
he'll reach out to you. So, thank you so much, Chucky. I really appreciate this.
My
And as they come in, I'll send them to you prayerfully that they'll respond and make something happen.
prayerfully will. Now listen, if they don't, that's okay. We kept our word. It's
We
okay.
can, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah. So, everybody have a great day. I know some will come on later. Thank you. Hope that there's something that is said that will affect you and just encourage you to want to do better, to take the small steps, but don't use it as an excuse, but use it to make changes to with better health, especially with all these things that's happening now and the bodies is breaking down. Get on top of it before it's all broke down. Get on top of
Absolutely.
it now so that you can make a change, that your life will be better because it's really important that you do that. Facility location, rehab program available.
Yeah, you guys can go to our website for all that information and put your email in there, whatever, and we'll get you whatever information you need.
Now, this is Rick from Team Charles Childs, and he has a program where he teaches people how to cook using the air fryer.
Nice.
He has the no nuts where they have the package for people that um, can't have nuts, and they're starting to produce them in stores and stuff like that. I wanted to talk to you about it. I did send you the information, but I kind of wanted him to kind of try to hook up with you. I don't know. and see if there's something that uh, you guys can kind of work out or something.
Okay.
So, yeah. So until we meet again, guys, have a great day and know that I love you. We love you. We wouldn't be here if we didn't. And that we just only want to see the best. On Sunday, I'll be back with Dr. Mathers and we'll be talking about mental health again. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week.
Yeah. Start at start. You can't stay there. You got to keep progressing.
Gotta keep progressing. You hear that, Alfreda?
That was for you, Ma. So you can, when she hits you, you can give her that.
Yeah. Have a great day, everybody.